approach, you can't stop him. Pick it up, running back, it's no problem. I'm running behind the block, they gon' block him. Quavo Yoda, I'm offset Chewbacca. Watch the blitz on the left, we gon' block him. We some animal, yeah, we some goblin. Man to man, we gon' cover you properly. Man to man, you can't beat me impossible. Red zone, this my highlight, my property. Do a quarterback sneakers on 4th and 3. Get the ends on the...
EA Sports coverage of the NFL is in Houston, in the Space City at NRG Stadium. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. So here's Kaimi Fairbairn to do the honors. And in front of a raucous crowd, this one is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back. Here, this will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Ryan on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. J.J. Watt in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Here's Ryan. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
11. Hey, Tuesday. Ready. You ready? 22. Ready to go.
From the shotgun, Ryan. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Taken in at the 11. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80!
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And right away he lost the football. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80!
Now it's Watson. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. For the Falcons, Charles, we've talked all year about the injuries that they had in 2018, and you kind of touched on it earlier, too. It's hard to get around them, though, when you look back at this past year. So they go to 7-9, and I know that that's not what they wanted, but with all the injuries, is that okay?
It would be if you didn't think you were going to the Super Bowl. You know, if you didn't think you had a chance at that, and they did going into the season. But when you lose your starting safeties in Ricardo Allen and Keanu Neal, your middle linebacker, Deion Jones, for a long stretch of time, you end up starting 1-4. Then in the second half of the season, you have a 5-game losing streak. 7-9 is actually better than I thought that they were finishing because of those 2 long losing streaks.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he stopped immediately there. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. They snap it at 1. Now Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Black 22! Black 22!
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80!
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. To throw is Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Richmond!
Watson just beating the play clock. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Set. Green the line. Green the line.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Set. Black 22. Black 22.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get, because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Ready. Ready. On.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
22.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Gun.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. First catch so far for Julio. He's got a 1st down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, Ryan. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. To throw again, Ryan. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. And this is caught at the 8. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now Ryan. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Calvin Ridley from 3 yards out. And the Falcons are in for 6. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Well, the Houston Texans, as they come onto the field, obviously their offseason hit a little earlier than they wanted in January, making it to the playoffs, losing to Indianapolis. That was the first time that 2 AFC South teams had actually met in the playoffs when they squared off with the Colts.
And think about how the two of them began the year. Houston began 0-3. The Colts began 1-5. Yet they both finished so hot. The Colts down the stretch, 9-1 in their last 10. Houston 8-2, and end up meeting in the playoffs. And both of them ended up winning on the other team's home field. The Colts did it twice. Houston did it once.
Well, as you said several times, hard for Houston to be completely disappointed with the ending. They have a lot to build on for next year. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And the Falcons going to use another timeout, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Watson hands to Miller on the draw. And an alley to run. And down he'll go at the 25. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go. Time. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham. On 2nd down, Ryan. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Matt Bosher now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Quarter number 3. Offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll run it again with Miller. He finds an opening past the 40. Lamar Miller. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, 73 yards. And the Texans are in for 6. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 40.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Green the line. Green the line.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
Blue 80. Blue 80.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. Back to throw, Watson. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Now the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here now come the Falcons. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Get up! 21!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Throwing on first down. Ryan. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Zach Cunningham with a pick. Oh, and now he bowls him over. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he will have a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for two. After the interception, here's Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for two, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Back to the air. Ryan after the pick six. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. Now Ryan on second down. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. J.J. Watt in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And a great move again. Lamar Miller, the 30, 10, touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his second touchdown of the afternoon, and the Texans will extend their lead. And he He certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he... This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Ryan on 1st down. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
20.
From the gun, it's Ryan. Steps away to his left. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Maybe worse than the loss of yardage, they also lose the down. So now it's 3rd and long. From the shotgun, Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
21. Wait. Gun.
Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. And this is incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example. And now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Down. Black 22. Black 22. Hey.
Again, it's Miller. And an alley to run. Lamar Miller. He's at the 40. 20. 10. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, 76 yards. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And he keeps carrying the ball into the end zone. And in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Ready to head back out.
Chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down
caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Hey. Gun. Hey, express. Hey, express.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Andre Howe. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, it's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 6 there on 1st. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Green, the line. 2 jet.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson flush to his right. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, who ready? Who ready?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Red, black 22, black 22. Come back, come back. White 42.
Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that will push the lead up from 26, and it grows up to 29. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
11. Hey, white. White.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Ryan to throw. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And finding the tight end Hooper. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
Let's go.
One last shot for Ryan. Caught on the right side by Jones. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal. Win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.